Number 2, honesty. What is the life of a person that is not honest? Your honor will be put to disrepute if you are not honest. So we have to raise our children. Let honesty be a pillar, a core family value. When we talk about honesty, it is promoting truthfulness and transparency to build long-term trust. Tell your children to be truthful. Tell them to be transparent. Even when they make mistake, let them own up to it so that they can develop long-term trust. A lot of employees at work today, they are dishonest because nobody taught them to be honest from home. All they taught them from home is how to lie, how to manipulate. So nobody trusts them, and most people, that is why they can't hold a job for a long time. Look at the popular armed robber Oyenusi. When he was to be executed by firing squad, he requested to talk to his mother, and his mother came closer. He beat off the mother's ear, saying, "You never told me it is wrong to steal." So that's it's an indictment on the mother that she failed in instilling family values into him in terms of honesty, knowing how to be truthful and all that. Now, the third pillar that I want us to look at, a common example of family values, is responsibility. Encouraging members of your family to be accountable for their action and to contribute to household, such as sharing house chores, is what would mean responsibility. Get it straight, parents under the sound of my voice. You're not being a good parent when your child doesn't have a chores they do in the house. Apart from the fact that chores makes your child responsible, it develops their cognitive sense. It builds their pattern and it helps their approach to work. So you need to make sure that every member of your family is responsible, and man being the head of the house should be the chief responsible person by having something he does in the house. Not the fathers I see around today who stretch leg and turn their wives to slave. The woman does all things, they do nothing. Responsibility starts from the head of the family, the mandate bearer, to his assistant, the wife, down to the children. Because when your children are not raised to be responsible, that is why today a 50-year-old man is still eating in his mother's house. He wasn't raised to be responsible. He was not raised to do anything on his own. So there are certain things we call it I don't even know the right word to use for it now. We think we're pampering our children. Meanwhile, we are destroying their lives. I remember at the age of 1, when my father told me I'll be cleaning the TV. My mother said, my father said that was the way I wanted. Eventually, the woman my father taught to give chores now became the chief assigner. She was now assigning more than my father. That we now started reporting to my father that your wife wants to kill us, so there are maids in the house. And when I tell my kids I wash the car, I change tires, I change oil, I do laundry perfectly, and we have maids, my mother now will now tell the maids, wash daddy's clothes, wash mommy's clothes, let the children wash their clothes. At a particular age, we stopped engaging maids in the house. They were now restricted to office places. We now have to do that stuff. When I do my daddy's laundry, in fact, at a point in time, he stopped taking his suit to the laundry mat because I took interest in it. I never knew it would become a business for me, So what am I trying to say? Most of the businesses people do today, it is from the responsibility they started at home. I had a roster for my kids while they were growing up. Week 1, when you're in this department this week, you'll be in another department next week. I got that training from my auntie of blessed memory, Mrs. Orekoya. I can't but talk about her. I come from a lineage of disciplined people. So, and in doing that, I raised my kids to do certain things. Today, most of the businesses my children are doing are from the chores they've been doing in the house. The one running an eatery, a catering outlet, she started that business in my kitchen. Because when I bake, you have to be there while I'm baking. Because you'll be the one to do it next week. Why am I explaining? Because I want us to catch the revelation. that entrepreneurship is not something you learn when you grow up. It starts in your mama's house. It starts from the chores you do. It starts in the kitchen. It starts with assignments assigned to you in the home that you do effectively. That is what we call responsibility. And when you leave your home with a family value of being responsible, going out into the world to face any task will not be a challenge. I never look at any task as a big deal. And that is why, as a married woman after having 4 kids, my pastor found me on top of the tree plucking mango, plucking apple, African apple. And he says, Tabuki, what are you doing on the tree plucking African apple? I said, Daddy, the tree, the harvest is massive. I don't want the apple to be injured. I want to pick them one by one. Because I grew up in a place where I have to sweep under the tree when the leaves from the tree fall. I have to make sure that no fruit is damaged. When it is ripe, I have to get it straight from the tree. So getting old and married and climbing the tree didn't become a big deal. What we are today is what we've learned from a formative age, the family values that have been passed on to us. You might not have the privilege to have been given those right family values, but you can begin to embrace the family values that you need to survive life, because it is in that pillar of responsibility on the family values that you're able to strive and make it in life. When dad won't be there, when your senior sister or brother won't be there, when your extended family won't be there. That's why most Nigerians do very well in foreign countries, because an average Nigerian comes from a background where responsibility isn't what they joke with. If nothing, if you are in the village, you go to the river and fetch water. At least when I went to the village on holidays, I went to the river happily to join other nephews and cousins to fetch water. We are Africans. We have values. The values is what shapes and makes us unique, that has made us to stand out over time. We shouldn't let it die, and we should pass it on to oncoming generation. That is about responsibility. I dwelt there because a lot of people now, they tell me they don't know what to do. Oh, what do you mean you don't know what to do? If you've been sweeping very well in your house, you can start a cleaning business. If you've been helping with your papa with your washing of cars, you can start a car wash business. If you've been helping with washing of clothes, you can start a laundry business. If you've been helping with cleaning ordinary louvers, even companies engage people to come and clean their louvers. You know, if you have been, there's so many chores we run in the house that can become mega businesses today if we package it well. Is it under the kitchen department I want to talk about? Or is it under general chores I want to talk about? Or compound care? There's so many industries in our home, in our homes. So let all the young ones saying they don't have a job revisit what they have learned on the family values and look for what they're very good at and use their knowledge, their education, to come up with a company, an organized company that will put food on their table. I always say that a family is the first platform for a child to become great. All that you need to become in life, it's given to you at the home front. Going to the fourth value, empathy. On the family values, example is empathy. You can't just be a callous person. You don't give a damn what happens to people. It's all about you. No. Empathy is taught at home. When you practice compassion by trying to understand the emotion and perspective of others. How do you learn that? Empathetic parents raise empathetic children. How do you do that? Oh, darling, how are you? You're frowning. Is anything the matter? And your child will say, Mommy, I don't even know what is happening to me. Is it malaria? Are you hungry? Do you want water? Do you want to go out? You know how we parents do. That is empathy, showing compassion. Okay, you are weak. Let me get your food. And the siblings too, you call the siblings, Ayo is strong, go. Please, don't disturb him. Oh. That's when you see your sibling coming to the room. When I was young, Buki, what's up? Show, are you on pretend now before real? That was my senior brother. I said, born a real. You know, and you go, when I say na real, that's when my brother will go and buy yogurt. I love yogurt. That is compassion. And when that is coming back, it comes back with big deep. If you were raised in my generation, you would know Big Deep. You know, that chocolate covered ice cream. You know, compassion.